Good morning. It's time for some sports here. We're going to have some boxing joy with PBS Fight Card Boxing. So, for those who don't know, I track with my games that use real fighters, I track who my current champs are. And I might play fights in any of the games that I own that feature those rated boxers. So those who don't know, currently Ezzard Charles is my heavyweight. He beat Floyd Patterson in Patterson's first title defense. Ezzard Charles defeated him with a fourth round TKO. He then went on and defended his title against Jack Johnson in a full 15-round bout. Made him 2-0. He won that 9 rounds to 4 over Jack Johnson. He has since defeated, let's see here, Ezzard Charles has since defeated, I think it's on this score sheet. Yeah, he defeated in his second title defense Leon Parks. He won that 6 rounds to 4. He is 3-0 with 1 KO. And he now awaits the winner of this fight for another defense run. John Sullivan is in this fight with a brutalization of Max Baer. This was done in Fight Card Boxing. This was at the Cow Palace in San Francisco. John L. Sullivan brutalized. Max Baer came out and dominated the first round, and then Sullivan went on to just absolutely decimate Max Baer. He won by KO in the 7th. And that was on the 4th of December. That was like, what is that, yesterday? The day before, something like that. And now we are at Leeds, England to see Jerry Coetzee, the Boxburg Bomber, against John L. Sullivan, the Boston Strong Boy. So the winner of this will have a shot at the title against Ezzard Charles. All right, so this is a 12-round bout. I'm using a homebrew tweak on stamina. So if I fight 12 or 15-round bouts, I multiply their endurance. I multiply their endurance by number, similar to, sorry about that, I did my math wrong. I just realized, looked up and realized I did the math wrong. I multiply their stamina number like you would do in title bout boxing. I'm also using the new modification, I don't say new, the updated rules in which a failed work rate roll will give a bonus back to the enemy. So I'm still doing that, but I also, for 12 and 15 round bouts, I multiply their endurance by 1.2 or 1.5, which is a direct stealing of that rule from title bout. It works for title bout, so it should work great for this. So both of these guys come in with a slight bonus to their endurance because we're fighting a 12-round bout. So all that does is we just see less war of attrition, right? Okay, so here we go. Coetzee versus Sullivan. May the best fighter win. Right now, Sullivan is all around higher work rate, greater intensity in his boxing damage. His endurance is comparable. He will run out of stamina very quickly, though. And scoring-wise, he scores better with the judges than Coetzee. So, to be honest, I don't see Jerry Coetzee winning this, but he might. And Ezzard Charles is in the crowd, awaiting the winner of this so they can schedule a future championship defense for the heavyweight title. Here it is. Round 1 is underway. It will be John L. Sullivan first. Sullivan will score under his work rate. He's going to score 12 points. Holy cow, so 12 points off this. As Jerry takes a brutalized 12 points in the first round. Oh, and then he fails his work rate roll, which just means Sullivan's going to win this round 10-9 across the board. So a failed work rate roll takes no damage. Sullivan absolutely dominates round 1. All right, round 2. Sullivan is amazing. It's going to be Sullivan again. He will succeed his work rate roll. 7 is another 10 points. Even with the homebrew tweak of changing the stamina, multiplying the stamina by the extra rounds, ironically, he fails another work rate roll. So John L. Sullivan is absolutely devastating. Coach, remember, if you fail work rate roll, You give a bonus back to stamina. You also automatically win the round, right? And if you win by a multiplier to failed work rate roll, you automatically win the round 10-8. Here we go. Now this is where Sullivan. So Sullivan comes out, beats the snot out of Coetzee in the first two. I may be saying that wrong. Coetzee. I know who he is, but I don't necessarily know whether it's Coetzee or Coetzee. Anyway, at the end of round 3, John L. Sullivan will start suffering more damage. So he will begin to give Coetzee an advantage in damage. Oh, finally. So he gets off his horse and puts 7 points. Right? So good job. Coetzee finally does some damage to Sullivan. Sullivan is going to get 6. He's going to do another 10 points of damage. We got to go to the judges now. Let's go to the judges. Judges say, looking at Sullivan, he gets the first judge, 10-9. Judge 2, he's going to lose to Coetzee. And 3, he's going to win Judge 3. So he is dominating this fight. And Coetzee has already lost over almost half his stamina. We're only in round 4. Here we go, round 4 underway. Remember, John L. Sullivan now suffers extra damage. It's going to be Sullivan. He lands his work rate roll. 6 is going to be another 10 points off. He is now literally under half his stamina. Is Coetzee already, even with the multiplier rule change, he's already taken an absolute beating here. We're going to get a 100 from from Coetzee. Not good. That's a +7 back. We're back up to 85. He's literally fresh, and he's going to automatically win this round. Is Jerry Coetzee just can't land his mitts. So he's basically, what that tells me is he's backpedaling, he's defensive fighting, he's covering up, he's clinching, he's doing all the things. He's doing all the things that a boxer that is overmatched might do. Round 5 underway. Sullivan has won every round so far. Okay, here we go. Coetzee's going to finally do some damage. 7. He's going to do 6 points of damage. We're down to 79. So good work there. Coetzee finally gets some work in. Sullivan is going to actually fail a work rate roll. You got to be kidding me. So that's going to be a +7. We're up to 52. And he's going to win that round, 10-9 across the board. He finally steals round 5. Oh, by the way, 3 more points. I got to remember that. Down to 76 is John L. Sullivan. So Coetzee finally wins a round, and he does, because of the fatigue of John L. Sullivan, he suffers mightily there. By the way, Coetzee will fatigue after round 6, and then it'll be, basically this fight will probably be a slaughtering, a John L. Sullivan just slaughtering. We'll find out. Coetzee is going to score 9. He's going to score 7 points. Good job. So Coetzee getting the job done. He opens up that round on fire. Comes out swinging. By the way, that was 9 more points off. So he's actually down to, no, 10 points off. So he's down to 66. So. And Sullivan is going to fail. Oh, my. Look at this, folks. We've seen a reversal of fortune. He failed his work rate roll. It's going to be 10-9. So look at this. Back-to-back. Coetzee's won back-to-back rounds. And he avoids damage from John L. Sullivan, which is going to help him. He gains +7 back. So it's 59-66 in stamina. Sullivan with a slight edge in the stamina department despite an early 4-round drubbing of Coetzee. Since Sullivan has suffered fatigue, he has also failed 2 work rate rolls. +7, +7. And Coetzee's won back-to-back rounds. Now, round 7, both of them are suffering full damage. It's going to be Coetzee again. Coetzee's going to land his work rate roll. 6 is 9 more points, down to 57. And John L. Sullivan finds himself, folks, in an absolute boxing match now. And he is going to score a multiplier. Uh-oh. That's not good for Coetzee. It's got ×10 +3 damage. 33 points of damage. He's down to 26. That will also be 1, thanks to the multiplier. 10-9. Holy cow. Coetzee came out and fought hard that round, but he took a couple of huge punches. We're going into round 8. Holy cow. He has cut Coetzee's stamina in half in one round. Okay, we're going to see 76 by Sullivan. That's a work rate score of 11. Another multiplier. Uh-oh, folks. Sullivan's going for the knockout as he's got Coetzee beaten up. We're not, 10, 13 points. He's down to 13. He's cut his stamina in half again. Coetzee's not going to survive round 10, I think. It's going to be 4. It's going to be 8, 11 points off of Sullivan. We got to go to the judges' score. Oh, he's a multiplier. So it's another 10-9 round for Sullivan. As we do not have to check the judges when you score a multiplier against the enemy. Man, folks, Coetzee has given this all he's got, but we're going into round 9, and he has just been brutalized. Another multiplier, and this fight is over. It's going to be Coetzee. Coetzee's going to score 9, 10 points down. Good job, Coetzee fighting hard. Now Sullivan, if he gets a multiplier, this fight is over. 77, he will score 4, not a multiplier, but 15 minus 2. The fight's over. As Sullivan in round 9 finally brings down. But how does he bring him down? 73. How does Sullivan win this second fight? So he's won 2 fights in a row for me in my universe. It's a KO from a slipped counter. One fighter slips a jab and counters with a hook. The opponent falls like a tree. KO. Win by straight KO. Number 73 is the lookup. So Sullivan is now 2-0 with 2 KOs, and this one was a win in 9 by KO. Number 73 is our result. Sullivan, Coetzee, of course, is now loses his, and he had what I call a kind of a, he had a shortcut opportunity at Ezrid Charles. So I have not fought him in like a series of fights to get him here. Sullivan, I decided to fight him in a series of fights to get him a shot at the title. Coetzee happened to be one of those opponents, and now Sullivan will get a shot as Ezrid Charles heavyweight title. And Sullivan now has absolutely, so he goes to Leeds, and he brutalized Max Baer, won in a knockout in 7, and here he brutalizes Jerry Coetzee and wins in round 9. So very, very good. Next up, we got a heavyweight title defense, folks, between Sullivan and Charles. Let's find out where this fight will be. So Ezrid there at ringside during his training, watching the top-ranked fighters go at it to determine who will get a contract to fight Ezrid. And so Ezrid and company are going to organize where and when. 63. This championship fight is going to be at Arena Mexico City. So we're going to be in Mexico City for a heavyweight 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Again, I am using a homebrew tweak. This is not part of the John's rules. Ezrid's endurance rating is multiplied by 1.5. 75 times 1.5. That is a direct use of the title bout rule to pump up guys' endurance. So Ezrid will have 113 stamina for this fight. He is, whoops, I need to put, actually I'll just do this. He's the champ, so we'll put Sullivan on top. There we go. And Sullivan, with 71 times 1.5, Sullivan will be up to 107. So Sullivan, John L. Sullivan, who has absolutely brutalized his 2 fighters. I'm thinking the smaller, Ezrid is 6 foot, 73-inch reach. Sullivan is only 5'11 and a half, 74-inch reach. So I was going to say Ezrid, the smaller heavyweight, but he's not. They are actually in height. They're 1/2 inch separates them in height. 1 inch separates them in reach. The reach goes to Sullivan, but Sullivan is a big-time work rate, very high intensity, fatigues at 3. Our champion, Ezrid Charles, is going to have his work cut out for him here today, folks. This is a title defense number 2 for Charles. So since I've been tracking and doing this with all my games, I've only had one heavyweight defend his title more than 4 times, and that was Sonny Liston defended his title 6 times. So that's my personal record in my universe. Obviously, the real life record is 26, which was Joe Louis. Joe Louis holds the record for 26 title defenses. Number 2 is Larry Holmes with 20. Vladimir Klitschko, I think, had 18 title defenses last I checked before he hung him up. The great Marciano, only heavyweight in history to retire undefeated, only defended his title 6 times. So, Joe Louis defended his title 26 successful times. That's pretty sweet. All right, here we go. John L. Sullivan and Charles. We've used the homebrew tweak to just turn up the endurance a little bit. I'll still use the Feld work rate rules to kick those up. And again, there's still going to be chance at flash knockdowns. Still going to be flash war of attrition endurance. But we're also going to see maybe these longer fights make it to the end. All right, here we go. May the best man win. And, of course, my heart is with Ezra Charles. But John L. Sullivan is absolutely decimated physically his opponents. Okay, it's going to be John L. And John L. does make his work rate roll by 8. And he's going to score 10 points against. So good work. John L. Sullivan comes out. And, again, when he lays his mitts upon Charles, it's got to hurt. But Ezra, not to be outdone, is going to get his. And we're going to have to go to the judges for the first round. Very nice, Ezra, the defending heavyweight champ. We're going to look at 9. 9 is 10-9. Sullivan wins the first judge. Sullivan's going to win the second judge. Ooh, those must have been punishing body shots. And everybody in the arena could hear it. Oh, my gosh, 10-9. So Sullivan gets all 3 cards. And he wins all 3 judges. Ezra, by the way, is less favorable among the judges. The judges don't like Charles's work rate. His scoring potential. Okay, we're going to look at, oh man, Sullivan. 8 is another 10 points. Man, Charles is getting pounded here. Charles is go. Come on, Charles. You got to get a multiplier, buddy. Come on, multiplier. Oh, he misses the multiplier by 1. He will do 7 points of damage. And folks, we got to go to the judges again. So Ezra, being the more technical fighter, is hanging in there, but somehow Sullivan's thunderous blows are scoring better with the judges. Yep, 10-9. Poor Ezra. He's the defending champ, and he can't get a break from the judges. Or he's the current champion, can't get a break from the judges. Oh, and he fails there on his own card. So there's an example of him getting his card, and the judges don't like what he's doing. And 5, wow, Sullivan wins the first 2 rounds, 10-9. Unbelievable. Here we go. Ezra needs a flash KO, I think, to hang in here. It's going to be Ezra, and it is. It's a multiplier, so he's going to score a multiplier in round 3. This is gigantic. Multiplier, and he has a 5 times this, so I need to roll a 6. 3 times 3 is 15 points, or 3 times 5 is 15 points against. And so he does a multiplier's worth of damage, which means which means that Sullivan must score a multiplier or he'll lose the round. And no, he's going to make his work rate roll barely, and 7, he'll score another 10 points. But Ezra will win that round 10-9. And I give it 10-9 because Sullivan did score, right? He's just an automatic victory for Charles there. Okay, now Sullivan's fatigued, which means he suffers 3 extra points of damage. So Ezra now does not want a fellow work rate roll, as he could win the war of attrition. Sullivan has 79 stamina left thanks to a multiplier. Charles now is at 83 over Sullivan, so he's actually winning on the physical part. He's losing the fight on the scorecards. And more importantly, he will be adding damage to Sullivan. So now is where this is exactly perfect example of the kind of boxer. For those who don't know, Ezra Charles was a technical marvel. He was more of a boxer. He was a technical phenom. Just a fantastic boxer. Sullivan, of course, old school, 1879 to 1892, was a strong man, just beat the snot out of people. So the bottom line is, here's where the game starts to look like Charles, with his damage, is going to be scoring technical punches, right? So we're talking about taking advantage of a tired man, scoring counter punches. That's exactly how I would see what's transitioned here. But he may not be enough. Oh, Sullivan gets the advantage. Sullivan scores, and he's going to drop another 10 points of damage on the head of Charles. Holy cow. Ezzard needs another multiplier, baby. Unbelievable. It's going to be 7. So 7. He's going to score 5 plus 3. So that's going to be 8 points. So he's still ahead of Sullivan barely. We got to go to the judges. This is where, being a technical fighter, clearly the judges love Sullivan's power. In 12, yep, he's going to get that round 10-9. Or that judge, excuse me. Oh, Charles. Oh, he wins it. Again, it's almost worse to be on Charles's card because he fails 3 rolls. So you almost want to be... Well, no, he only fails 1. Yeah, you want to be on your own card. And it is Charles's card. 8 is 10-9. So Charles wins that round in a split. But holy cow. Okay, round 5 underway, and Charles is holding his own. He has now won 2 rounds in a row. It's tied, folks. After 5, it's a 2-2 fight, and Charles has 2 points of advantage on him in endurance. So suddenly, the technical boxer, Ezzard Charles, the heavyweight champ, has evened up everything. But Charles takes advantage here. 4, he's going to score 10 points against. He's got Sullivan hurting. Holy cow, Sullivan now is down to 61 stamina. Sullivan makes his work rate roll. Oh, it's a multiplier KO. You've got to be kidding me. And we are at round 5, which means if I roll a 1 here, Ezzard goes down in a flash KO. No, he's on his feet, but it's a multiplier. 4 times 10, 40 points. And he'll automatically win the round 10-9. Ezzard takes a beating, is knocked down on his back, gets up, stumbles back to the corner, bounces off the ropes. The referee, holy cow! Matter of fact, let's not make it up. Let's roll to see what that KO multiplier looked like. 96. 96. Where is 90? Punching with open glove flicks. Okay, I'm not certain what that means. But John, I think it makes more sense with a 40-point damage that he literally dropped Ezzard, and Ezzard got up, and the referee's going to let him keep fighting. But man, that was brutal. Here I thought Ezzard was now taking control, and Sullivan caught him, put him down. Holy cow, folks, round 6 underway. That was brutal, and all of a sudden Sullivan's got this fight completely under his control. It's going to be Sullivan, man. And it's going to be 59 and another 9, another 11 points. He's down to 22. Charles is in deep, deep trouble, folks. Ezzard, you have got to score a multiplier of your own. No, he's going to miss his work rate roll. That is really bad. It's him. He fails his work rate roll, loses the round, and gives a +7 to Sullivan. Sullivan now is utterly in control and dominating this fight. He needed to do all the damage he could. Round 7, and Charles is doing all he can just to stay on his feet. It's going to be Sullivan. He will make his work rate roll barely, and he'll score another 10 points. Oh my God, Charles, what are you going to... Charles, you must land a KO or a multiplier. You got to do something. He lands 5. He's going to do 9 points of damage, so he's down to 59. But we got to check the judges. Oh, God, this was punishing damage. It's going to be 12. It's going to be 10-9. First judge, like Sullivan. You can hear those punches. You can just hear the air come out of Ezzard as he takes shots to the ribs. And the judges loving to hear that whistle of the air leaving the gloves. It's going to be Sullivan again. He dominates that round. Folks, this fight is Sullivan's unless something happens. All right, round 8. Charles is definitely losing. He's about to be knocked out. He's on his feet, but barely. And he fatigues after round 8, so things get much worse for him. He has 12 stamina left versus his opponent, 59, and he has lost all but 2 rounds. So Sullivan is going to be the new heavyweight champ, folks. It's just a matter of time. Ezard, come on, buddy. Oh, I didn't roll a knockout, though. 5. He's going to do a total of 8 points of damage, so that's good. All Ezard can hope for is landing a multiplier KO. And it's going to be another 8, 10 points off. He's down to 2. And we go to the judges. John L. Sullivan has dominated this fight. 11. It's going to be 10-9. It's going to be 4. Oh, he loses on his own card. Poor Ezard. He can't win a judge. Even on his own card, can't win a judge. Oh, he wins a judge on Sullivan's card. I don't know what he did in round 8 to impress Judge 3. But Judge 3 feeling for Ezard, probably just that he stayed on his feet and avoided being knocked down. This is it, folks. Round 9. Ezard now suffers 3 more points of damage thanks to fatigue. Sullivan needs to hit anything, and the fight is over. It's going to be on Ezard's card. 6 is going to be 8 points of damage, down to 43. Not good enough, though. Unless Sullivan fills this work rate roll, our fight is over. 66, he doesn't. It's going to be a negative 12 points, and this fight is over. Let's find out how it ends. 59. 59, walk-off KO. A single punch lands so cleanly that the puncher walks away before the ref finishes the count. Holy cow, win by KO. And he walks away knowing there is no way. But Charles was just beaten. Sullivan has quite literally beaten the hell out of his opponents. Sullivan is 3-0 with 3 KOs. And he is now the new heavyweight champ. John L. Sullivan, the new heavyweight champ. Today is 12/5/25. And Ezard, Charles, falls to 3-1-0. And I might give him another chance at the title later. But man, he had right smack in the middle. He had 2 rounds where he redeemed himself and evened everything up. He evened up the fight. He evened up the damage. But then suffered a KO, a knockdown, a literal knockdown in round 5, and he never recovered. At that point, Charles was just trying to stay alive. That's the bottom line. Sullivan's our new champ, folks. This has been Fight Card Boxing. Again, my heavyweight championship title fight number 2. Ezard only manages to defend his title 1 time. Sullivan now the new champ. I have a feeling Sullivan's going to defend this belt for quite some time. Thanks for watching. Good day.